It was my early 30s. I got this huge sickness and I took weeks to begin to get better. And then I would get a little better and then relapse. But, I'd been healthy my whole life. So, okay, I'll get over this. Okay, it's been 4 months now, but then I'd relapse. And then a year relapsing, then 4 years. And just trying to carry on, trying to crawl on through my life, but getting sick. And then 5 years getting more infections, 6, 7, 8 years getting multiple chemical sensitivities. Now getting infections all the time if I'm just exposed to some food or some this or that. Just my immune system had crashed, starting to be able to not sleep. 5 years, 10 years, 15, trying everything, every healing modality, Eastern, Western, every test, every diagnosis. They would say you have chronic Lyme disease. Oh, you have Hashimoto's disease. Whatever disease they thought there was their thing, they would tell me I had it. But whatever treatment made me worse and worse.
Before she discovered Qigong, the sickness that could not be diagnosed slowly came upon her, and her energy got smaller and smaller, and she became allergic to everything. She couldn't travel without carrying her own sheets, pillowcase, and everything. And even then, she was greatly at risk. And she had to carry her own food. She couldn't eat in a restaurant. Everything was an irritation. She would become inflamed. And one of the worst pieces was the brain fog for her, because she's so bright and intelligent. And a brain fog would hit and she couldn't maintain her intelligence. She couldn't function in a city. She couldn't get on an airplane.
Everything shrunk. My life shrunk. My circle of people I hung out with shrunk. How many clients I could see. I was still teaching retreats at Spirit Rock, but that was hard, and my teams that I worked with had to really bend, Debra's got to rest. Debra, we need a backup for Debra kind of thing. It was hard.
Watching this person, like you said, a life that suddenly began to shrink was very painful. There were dozens of doctor's visits, acupuncture visits.
She was dedicated to finding something that would improve her, and tried everything, tried every doctor, every acupuncturist, so many healing modalities, and poured so much money in trying to heal.
All this energy would go out, and then the next thing would happen, and I would slip down a rung. And so I had to become super hyper vigilant. Oh, I can't go into that room because it will have this kind of carpet, or I can't be exposed to that person with the common cold because I'll be sick for 6 months. It was bleak.
It was very hard for her to get a diagnosis. And so somewhere in all of that, she found the Qigong practice.
I was walking down the step of a friend's house. I think I was in my 50s. And I'm holding onto the rail. I'm going so slow, step by step. And I got halfway down. And I thought, this is not my story. This can't be me. I'm this person who really, I'm a backpacker. I'm a swimmer. It's just, I'm not going there. I remember being halfway down the steps and going, there's something better. And then within a day of that, a really good friend told me to run, not walk, to this Qigong teacher who she had a lot worse than me going on. And she said, Debra, I have 100% improvement. Go. So I limped my way to this, it's a weekend workshop. It was just Saturday and Sunday. And by that Sunday night, it was like, what happened? And the next morning, I'm at the airport to go home. I'm walking going, there's no pain. Where could it have gone? It's impossible that a 2-day workshop, and then this doctor I was seeing at the time, I had to happen to have an appointment with that doctor the next day. I said, wow, my brain works and my inflammation's gone. And he said, well, it's definitely not Qigong. And I thought, I'm definitely never, ever coming back to see you. And I never did. And I just put my pedal to the metal and just started doing Qigong every day. It was like I got plugged back into life, or life plugged back into me. Whatever happened, I got my life back. I got my energy back. I got my joy back. She was like, whoa, hello, I know you. So then he got into it, because why not? I was doing 3 hours a day, but what's not to like about this?
I watched her catch fire with Qigong, and I watched it, like a spark. I would say almost open every door of every cell in her body to the possibility of health.
So when Debra came back from that first retreat, it was like a lightning bolt pierced through the clouds and hit her, and then by reflection it hit me, because I suddenly felt like, oh my God, there might be a healing path.
She started doing Qigong every day without fail because it was required. She just kept getting better and better, and then she went to a Qigong retreat and came home vastly improved.
She was able to not only recover from the health challenge, but more importantly, discovering the life forces can continuously sustaining her life, fulfilling her passion of life, not only our relationship, but also extended relationship as a teacher, contributing to life of other peoples.
I am in awe of the person that Debra has become. I can not only see that Debra is back where she was, but at a much more sophisticated level of wisdom and intelligence and graciousness and magnetism.
So I was so happy to see her find this and stay dedicated to it and disciplined with it, and see her health go roaring into a new place. So happy.